Hello viewers, warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for your support to our academic channel. We are going to be close to 4,000 subscribers. I am so grateful to each and every one of you who are watching this channel. What is the topic of this video? The topic of this video is going to be about what are the challenges we face as a private dental practitioner. There are many challenges. I am going to name them one by one, and I'm going to give you a nice insight about how we manage those problems and how we are going to give you the advice to you. Please watch this video fully. Moreover, I'll be classifying this video into three parts, which is the money part, the material part, and the manpower part. These are the three areas you will get into trouble. So the money part, the material part, and the manpower part. So I'm going to talk to you about the manpower part as the first. The first and foremost thing in any dental clinic is going to be your team. Okay, I have started my practice in the year 2009 after I came back from army service, and as you know, I started with just 3 persons, one receptionist and 2 assistants for me and myself. I was the single doctor. So as slowly 1 or 2 years later after I started, by the year 2012 and all, I've got a lot of patients. So I was finding very difficult to manage all alone. So I started recruiting assistant doctors. So actually the problem starts here. I'm not blaming the assistant doctor. When you delegate your work to your team, patients will expect the quality of work which you give. So that quality has to be ensured. Secondly, the way you handle your patient will be different by the way your assistant handles. So you have to maintain a standard. So what happened was, slowly my practices started picking and more doctors started coming, more and more assistants started coming. So I find the problems I face every day, most of the time is not going to be the money or not going to be the material or anything else other than the manpower. Why? Because my practice runs from morning 9 o'clock to evening 9 o'clock. Okay, there are practitioners in many states, they leave the practice by around 7 o'clock. In Pune, I have seen people leave by 6:30 also, 7 o'clock also. In Mumbai also, people close down the clinic by 7:30. They go home, be with the family, and they live a good life. But in Tamil Nadu, where I practice, the business area is like they run from morning 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock. This is the biggest problem. If I have to put shift system, then it will be very difficult, because I have to have a lot of manpower who have to properly hand over the duties and go, because money has to be handed over, the documents has to be handed over, and moreover the pending work has to be taken over. Okay, so I was keeping a system from morning 9 to 9. Even it is so taxing for the staff, because many staff, they feel they are even the work is less, their time commitment is such that they have to come from the morning to night. This was the biggest challenge I was facing. Even I was working on Sundays also. Sundays we were working till 1:30, 2 o'clock. I used to work 7 days a week for many years. So eventually I got so much of neck pain, back pain, I lost my control on my health. So I started developing a lot of giddiness, numbness and all that, because after I left army, my physical fitness was not that great, because there I used to run every day 5 kilometers, and we used to be very active. We play games, we had a nice lifestyle there. But in civil, time is so precious, because there I used to get a lot of time. Moreover, my recreational activity like playing games and sports, they became part of the job there. But here it's a luxury. I have to leave the patient's work. If I leave the patient work, no money, no income. So we used to keep on working. From 2012, I started developing a lot of neck pain. So then I realized it's not to be done. The right way is to work out nicely, keep yourself fit. Then slowly I get into my fitness and regained all the things I lost. Regarding the manpower problem, then I picked up people from a native place, gave them food, gave them hostel, made them stay in the hostel, and they started working in the hostel, and we send them on holiday. It's my clinic has grown up very well now. It become a brand. A lot of people started coming. I started implementing a lot of systems. When a new recruit comes, like a new staff comes, they have to go through a proper training protocol, because initially it was unprofessional. People come, the seniors or the persons who are already there, they don't teach because they feel jealous or they feel insecure. Why I have to teach? I learned it in a hard way. Why I have to teach? Most moreover they won't teach. So in the year 2020, after almost 7 years of difficulties, I started a dental training package called Dental Shiksha. I had it, I'm still having it online. Any staff comes, they have to get trained and they have to go. So what are the problems I face with the manpower is, the first is uncertainty. There is no command and control, there is no law to control them, because they just leave the job abruptly. That is the biggest problem. If they don't like, they don't come. If they go to a holiday, they don't come. If they suddenly find somewhere a job opportunity, they will leave. There is no hold for me. No, sometimes I used to collect their certificates and keep, so that they don't run. Sometimes I keep a part of their money as a reservation, so that they don't run away. Even though people leave the certificate and gone, there are people who have left money and gone. So there is no way you can stop a person. If the person wants to run away, he will run away. Okay, for the second question comes is, why the people have to run? One is, since being from the army background, I used to be very, very particular in the discipline. We don't allow cell phones to be used in the clinic. We don't allow unnecessary things in the clinic. People don't like discipline. So if you are going to be a very strict disciplined person, you will face manpower problem, because the system, suppose you put a rule, if they are not following the rule, you will feel disappointed. If you are telling to do certain way of things, like calling them and finding out, any job you do, if they don't follow it, you get upset. If you are a forgiving person, if you are a person who is easy on them, things can go well. So please consider that part. The third thing is, people are from towns and villages, even good staffs, they will work for 1 year. Suddenly the parents will say they have to get them married. One bottom line thing is, bad people, they stay for a long time, they keep irritating you, and they will go eventually without telling you. Good people, they stay for a very short time, they get married, they go for higher studies, they get a government job. You feel bad. The irony of life is, uncertainty is going to be haunting you every day. So manpower will be a biggest challenge for all the young private practitioners. Understand this, manpower is going to be the biggest problem. Suppose if you are a very poor practitioner, in the sense you don't have much of patience, don't have much of income, it's okay, you have one person and manage. But people who have got good practices, who are developing in their practice, definitely manpower will be a problem. So be prepared all the time. So I made out certain solutions for manpower problem. I made number one, number two, which means a person who is doing a number one job, he will be the number one, and also there will be a person behind suppose a receptionist there, she will be a number one receptionist. Suppose there will be a number two also. Suppose she is going on leave, this number two will become number one. So likewise, I started duplicating people. If you don't have a duplicate, if you don't have a spare wheel, you will get stuck. So the moral of the story is, have backups. So you may ask, sir, how can I keep so much of manpower? Again, I'm telling you, it all depends on your income level, your practice flow, and your this thing. Now, right now I have almost 14 to 15 manpower, out of which 4-5 doctors are there, and I have more than 10 staffs, out of which 3-4 local staffs and 6 hostel staffs are there. Again, in the hostel, if you keep young girls or young boys, it will be a problem. People are young people, so they always tend to do wrong things. They communicate with their motive, and their personal life will be clashing your professional life. For example, if a lady nurse is having an affair with some boy and her mind is not in that job, she won't do a good job. So productivity will come down. So slowly problems will unveil. The second thing is jealousy. Interpersonal jealousy will be more in people who are from the low economic strata, because they feel very insecure. They may feel their position may be threatened, their place may be threatened. So these are the problems I was facing. So ultimately, one thing I want to tell is, if you want to fire a person, please fire a person in the first place, because if you keep allowing them, the mistake I used to do is, forgiving is more for me. Though I am strict, I used to forgive them. I used to gulp the mistakes they do. But the realization I am having right now after many years is, if you are finding they are doing something which is inappropriate for your organization or yourself as a owner of the clinic, if you want to fire them, please fire them as fast as possible, because they say hire slow and fire fast. So hire slow and fire fast. So आप जल्दी फायर करोगे आपको अच्छा है, बिकॉज आप फायर नहीं करोगे उन लोग सोचेगा ये आपको वीकनेस है, ये वीकनेस सोच के ना दे विल ट्राई टू टेक एडवांटेज इफ यू आर फॉरगिविंग ऑल रॉन्ग थिंग्स विच आर डूइंग. सो प्रोफेशनली if you are good and they have done a mistake, you can teach them. If they know it is a mistake and they have done it intentionally, then it means they are telling they want to leave the job indirectly, because most of these people from our people who are working for our clinics will be very very short term thinkers. They will think in terms of 1 week, maximum 1 month, that's all. They don't bother what they will do for the money, they don't bother what they will do for their future, they don't care about their future. So that is the place, that is why they are coming they have come to this part of the job. If they would have cared about their future, so that is the bottom line. So much of lessons I learned throughout this year. So manpower issue is going to be ultimate for you. So please be prepared that you have to have backups for all the posts in your clinic, receptionist, nursing assistants. If you have multiple clinics, then you have to have a pool of people to keep training on one side, and they should come into the main line. If somebody is weak, they have to eliminate them. So this is the manpower issue I used to face. Every day something or the other will come. So we have to be literally we have to be very very careful in handling them, because as days goes by, more and more people are getting empowered with all these media influences and all the other online influences. It's becoming very difficult to handle this 2000 generation. People who are born after 2000 only, they are going to come to you because they will be like 20 years old, they will be like maximum 21 years old. So their mindset will be having fun, having enjoyment and all that. They are not bothered over, they don't have any goals, they don't have any other ambitions. So ultimately what happens is, problem will be you will be suffering a lot. Okay, this is the first thing. The second thing I'm going to talk to you about is going to be about the materials and other issues. Okay, there are people I've seen in dentistry. There are some people, they don't buy anything at all. Even after 25 years, their clinic will be the same like the way they started. They don't care about improving the decorations, improving the trends, name plates, nothing. They're very lazy. They are not interested. They don't care how the customer thinks, how the patient thinks. They don't care about anyone. They don't get impressed by other society. Like for example, people who are working near to them, there are a lot of people, they have good shops, interior decoration. They don't care. They live a life, because they think everything is money. If I put a board, money will go waste. Because I am telling you, it is because of your attitude you are not getting patient or not getting enough money, because your attitude is stinginess. You don't give, you don't have to. By having a good practice means having good facility, means it's going to be the benefit for the patient. So patients will always going to like the way you are giving them, the values, like having small things only, like having a nice chair or sofa to sit, air conditioned room, or a fan or whatever, TV, small magazines and things. These small petty things makes difference. Okay, the second thing is, I have seen people who just pump a lot of money. They don't even bother about the core areas. The core area is the treatment area, the core area is the patient satisfaction area. They think by having a pakka branded nice clinic, everything it may work till the patient comes. Okay, patient just will look at everything. Ultimately they are not going to remember that. When they go back home, they are going to remember the good treatment you have given. They are going to remember the efficiency of your treatment, the how efficacy, how efficient your treatment. These are the things they are going to look at, and they are not going to be bothered about anything else other than this. So there are some people I have seen, they buy everything. It is up to you, it's a personal choice. I'm nobody to tell you anything, but my request to all the viewers who are watching is, don't buy stuff which you are not going to use for the patient every day. Like lasers you can outsource, even scanners. If you have every day, if you are going to use, buy it. Scanners are good investment nowadays. OPG, every patient you can take an OPG, you can do a good diagnosis of multiple treatment. certain things will give a lot of return of investment if you know how to use. Otherwise, you will become so capital heavy, which means so much of money will be borrowed from the bank, or you would have sold some land, you would have sold some gold and bought lot of equipments without a meaning, just to show people that you have everything. Nobody is asking you to keep everything in their practice, until unless you show them how you use those resources and make their treatment or make their life successful. Imagine if you have an intraoral scanner, and if patient knows that the benefit of intraoral scanner is much more than a conventional impression, then it will be useful, because patient will go and tell that doctor is having sophistication in their clinic, and it is very useful for me because I had less nausea during my something like that. The value has to be perceived by your customer, otherwise whatever you are buying is not going to be of any use to you. Okay, so why I am telling is, calculate the return of investment you are going to make. You should be very, very mathematical in your investment. You should be very, very mathematical in investing your money. You should know always that you are going to have more cost. You may buy something, okay, after that there will be services, there will be AMCs, there will be spare parts availability. There are lot many things which you have to consider. And if you don't think of all that, and if you just keep on buying things, at one point of time you will be thinking your clinic is full of stuff, which you don't use, and you will regret this decision. So young dentist, please be very, very calculative in your investment. The third thing I'm telling you is money part. Money is most important thing, because money is the most where and all you will spend money. I just want to tell you, forget the income part, let's talk about the expense part. Okay, you'll be spending if you are in Bombay, Chennai, Bangalore, any other metro city, you are going to spend a lot of money for your rental, until unless you have your own. I'm 100% sure 90% of us are not having own places in these cities, 90 or 85% or 80-90%, because most of you are going to rent your place. So renting is going to add lot of fixed expense, which means every month you are going to spend for rental. So if you have a rental place, there is electricity. So when you place rental in electricity, there will be some water problem. Water you have to buy. Sometimes your metro water you have to pay. There are so many maintenance. The building will have a security, so neighbors have to share. There will be common area maintenance. There are so many nitty-gritties you have to consider before you think of planning a clinic, where you are going to put, how the expenses are going to be. Don't just look at only the rental part. Okay, what are the other expenses you will be facing in your clinic? So all this part you have to understand. The second most important thing in the money part is, lab expenses, material costs are very high nowadays. So considering all this, your charges have to be good enough to get some profit. So whatever expenses income you're making minus your expenses is going to be the profit. I repeat, whatever income you're getting minus the expenses, the balance is going to be profit. In profit also, there are many things. You think whatever money is coming into your pocket is going to be profit. It is not the profit. So just because money you are taking every day to your home, or you are putting in an account, you might look like it is a 7-figure, it is a 6-figure number, but ultimately when you see, as you keep on spending the money for every month, you have to work at least 3 to 4 times more speed. Suppose, for example, your monthly expense is 3 lakhs and your income is 5 lakhs, you are going to make a profit of 2 lakhs. So suddenly if 1 month some rainfall is happening, patient's flow is not there, the corporation people are doing some work, and clinic के अंदर patient नहीं आ पाएंगे, आपको problem क्या होगा, like your income will cut, and actually whatever it is there in your account, you'll start using it. So I will give you advice, always have a reserve wealth of at least 1 year expense or 6 month expense, so that you can use that money when you have problems for your this thing, for your expenses. The second thing is, you have to anticipate unnecessary expenses like breakdowns. People, we don't calculate, we just spend, something comes, something goes. So I don't know, sir, all that. If you are like that, you have to be very, very calculative. If you are an advanced practitioner, I would recommend you to have one part-time accountant who can manage all your expenses, because in Tally you have to calculate every 1 rupee coming, every 1 rupee going out, and preferably, most of the time you have to understand that you have to calculate this every day, so that every day you know what is coming and what is going. So with that you can calculate most of the things. As I told you, education, your money, the money to invest in your own self is also important, because if you earn 1 rupee by doing a procedure, if you know how, suppose you are doing RPD, if you know implants, you can charge more. RPD you are going to charge 500,000, but in implants you can charge 30,000. Compare the 500,000 you make in RPD to an implant. You know, the amount of work you do for an RPD delivery, impression, bite, trial, whatever you are doing, it's pure waste, because you know, more time you are spending for less amount of money. So you are not going to be rich, you will be a suffering dentist. So rather learn skills. For learning skills you have to invest money in yourself. So where that money will come from the patient. So ultimate line I want to tell is, don't undercharge. Charge nicely and give a nice work and learn and do more work and earn more money. As a BDS dentist, you can earn even 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs per month. It's possible? Yes, it's highly possible. Because if you know full mouth implants, if you know full mouth rehabilitations using partial bonded veneers and all that cosmetic stuff, and also if you can do many things in your subject, you can literally earn in every source of your opportunities, which work opportunities. Okay, fine. So money is very important, materials are important, manpower is important. So when you do all this properly, my friends, I want to tell you, you will be a successful practitioner and you will live a life, I am telling you, more than what you are expected. If you don't manage this properly, if you are very careless in all these three areas, you will have a lot of tough time. So I hope if I've added a little bit of value also, I need your like. Okay, don't have a video which is worth our experience and you don't like it, means it won't reach. If you like this video, many people will watch this and many people will come to get some ideas and it will help many people. So your one action of liking and commenting will help my academy and my video. If you like to do any course, please call me. We are doing courses in implants, root canals, orthodontics. We have a lot of courses going on in our academy. So please don't hesitate to call us. I hope this video have added some value to you. Thank you and God bless you.